All right, so welcome to Accurate and Sterling here. Currently this afternoon we're in Factory 2. This is the processing side of our business. This Factory 1 is obviously administration side. Inside here, which we're about to go through in a minute, is our fully functional grinding room. So we prep all our tooling here. We grind it, profile and tool and cutter grind. We measure and everything gets clocked up before it leaves our factory. Very, very important, the understanding between the linking of the measuring systems and the grinders as well before you go and put it on a machine. So we have the responsibility and the trust of companies to make sure that that is right, and we take this very seriously. But let me give you this opportunity quickly to explain how they are linked, because this is critical in order for you to get this right, because it makes such a difference to you on your, in your production sense. So if you just come with me, the first thing on the left here is our dirty room. So we break this up where we clip all the sandblasting, our ultrasonic tanks, all the cleaning equipment, all our cutter heads and everything comes in to a dirty room, and then we take it in to our laboratory. This has got to be perfect. Come with me. We as a company over the last few years have evolved. Just like your company needs to evolve, we have to evolve. So we've gone from very manually orientated grinders, profile grinding and tool and cutters, to now the state-of-the-art automatic profile grinding. So this here runs on a program, all CNC, and we grind dozens and dozens of cutters every single day. But the importance for today is the M380. This is our CNC servo-driven tool and cutter grinder. Here we've got a set of finger joint cutters. A company is sent up to us to have recalibrated. They outsource this job to another company, and they've ground them out of diameter. So we're here now to bring them all back so that all the knives are all in the same cutting circle. So first of all, we have servo drives to control this, control the indexing side, controlling the speed. We have a roughing cycle, and we have a finishing cycle. So we can control how much we take off, the speed we take that off, how many rotations, and then we will spark that out on a finishing cycle in order to make sure it is absolutely perfect. This is all controlled through the CNC system. And Jade will show you this a little bit later when he turns the machine on, just how simple and effective this machine is. But once we come off this grinder, this is not ready to go to a machine yet until you bring it to a measuring device. I've set up a profile set of cutters here. Now this has just come off this automatic grinding machine. But what we will do here is we will absolutely guarantee that the profile matches the drawing. But we will do this here now well before that tool is introduced to the molder. We will not let a piece of timber determine whether our cutters are right or wrong. We will do that well in advance. So this here, we have a machine with a light coming up, and this customer is running 8mm dowel. So it is very important to make sure that the distance between these points here is exactly 8mm. So I'll line up on one edge of a knife, I increment the digital readout, and I'll wind the light over till it picks up the next point, and you can see here we've got a dimension here of 8.02. I will now clock up the very next cutter just to double confirm. Increment it back to 0 again. And now we have 8mm. Let me bring another cutter up. So again, I increment it. And I get 8mm. So I know that cutter is absolutely perfect and pure. The importance of the measuring system is more important nearly than the grinder itself. So here we can confirm that that tool is ready to go now to production. So the measuring system is paramount to making sure that your operation works effectively and efficiently. This is critical. The grinder itself is important to get the finish and all that required, but the measuring system is absolutely a necessity.
After Craig showed us some footage of the OMA stand setting up and tolerances and all that, we make sure that we check all our cutters from the drawing references. So this drawing here is this cutter. So this cutter here is telling me that there should be a depth from that point there down, should be 5 mil. It's also telling me there's a 4 mil gap in between each dowel. And top one again is 5 mil again. We have a dowel reading here of 8 mil. So that dowel is 8 mil, 8 mil, 8 mil, 8 mil, 8 mil, and so on. We've got templates, we've got knives which we produce there. A customer has sent us a timber sample and wanted us to produce knives from that, and we've achieved that.
So just changing it up here, the wheel position. And away will go in its cycle. Now, nothing is more critical than a set of finger joint cutters. This would be the hardest and most precise tool that would need to go on a tool and cutter grinder. So this is paramount that goes right, because now you've got a very small male and female which absolutely needs to go in perfect. We have other tools where we would put this on here as well to grind the face. Here we have a small amount more latitude, but we don't use it. So everything coming off of that machine will be clocked up here until we get a tolerance here of 0, and then we will send it out. So measuring system and the grinder, they're married. Must be understood the principles of this. Today we don't have the luxury of taking second place. There's too many guys aiming and spending as much time and resources to become number one, and everyone needs to do that, including us here. We have to do that. These manual grinders hardly get used anymore because we can't achieve that tolerance and accuracies that we can off the CNCs.